The year 2024 will be etched in the memories of many as the year Hurricane Milton, a storm of unexpected ferocity, tore through the Atlantic. What began as a seemingly insignificant tropical depression rapidly intensified into a monstrous Category 5 hurricane, catching meteorologists and coastal communities off guard. The storm's sudden escalation served as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of hurricanes and the devastating power they possess. Hurricane Milton's emergence underlined the ever-present vulnerability of coastal regions to the wrath of the natural world. Hurricane Milton's impact extended far beyond its meteorological classification. Its winds, exceeding 150 miles per hour, ripped through towns and cities, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Homes were reduced to rubble, businesses were flattened, and once familiar landscapes were transformed into unrecognizable debris fields. The storm surge, a towering wall of water driven by the hurricane's force, inundated coastal areas, causing widespread flooding and exacerbating the damage. The storm's impact was both immediate and devastating, leaving communities reeling from the sheer scale of the destruction. The fury of Hurricane Milton served as a stark reminder of the raw power of nature. The storm's rapid intensification and destructive force caught many off guard, underscoring the importance of preparedness and early warning systems. As the storm raged, its impact resonated far beyond the immediate disaster zone, prompting a global outpouring of support and highlighting the interconnectedness of humanity in the face of such catastrophic events. The recovery process promised to be long and arduous, but the resilience of the human spirit, coupled with the aid and compassion of others, offered hope for a brighter future amidst the ruins. Hurricane Milton's path of destruction began in the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean, where it rapidly gained strength, fueled by warm ocean temperatures and favorable atmospheric conditions. As it churned westward, its trajectory became increasingly clear, setting its sights on vulnerable coastal regions. Meteorologists watched with growing concern as the storm intensified at an alarming rate, exceeding all initial predictions. The storm's path took it directly towards densely populated areas, raising the specter of widespread devastation. The first communities to bear the brunt of Hurricane Milton's fury experienced the full force of its unrestrained power. Winds howled through the streets, tearing roofs from homes and sending debris flying through the air like deadly projectiles. The storm surge, a relentless wall of water, surged inland, inundating low-lying areas and overwhelming coastal defenses. Buildings crumbled under the onslaught, their foundations no match for the sheer force of nature's assault. In the aftermath, the landscape was unrecognizable, transformed into a debris-strewn wasteland. As Hurricane Milton continued its destructive march, it left a trail of devastation in its wake. Communities that had once been vibrant hubs of life were reduced to rubble-strewn ghost towns. The storm's impact on infrastructure was catastrophic, crippling communication networks, severing power lines, and rendering roads impassable. The once familiar rhythm of life was shattered, replaced by the eerie silence of a world turned upside down. The sheer scale of the destruction was difficult to comprehend, stretching for miles along the coastline and leaving an indelible mark on the affected regions. Amidst the widespread destruction wrought by Hurricane Milton, it was the human cost that truly underscored the tragedy of the event. Families were torn apart, homes were lost, and lives were forever changed by the storm's relentless fury. The storm's sudden intensification and rapid advance left many with little time to prepare or evacuate, resulting in a desperate struggle for survival. Stories of courage, resilience, and heartbreaking loss emerged from the wreckage, painting a poignant picture of the human toll exacted by the disaster. One particularly harrowing account involved a young couple expecting their first child, who found themselves trapped in their attic as floodwaters rose around them. With communication lines down and the storm raging outside, they clung to hope, sending desperate text messages to loved ones, their pleas for help echoing into the void. Hours turned into an agonizing wait as they battled rising water and the fear that threatened to consume them. Their story, like countless others, served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life in the face of nature's fury. In the aftermath of the storm, as the floodwaters receded and the full extent of the devastation became apparent, communities came together to support one another, offering comfort, shelter, and a helping hand to those in need. Stories of neighbors rescuing neighbors, strangers sharing food and water, and volunteers traveling from afar to assist in the relief efforts provided a glimmer of hope amidst the despair. The human spirit, though battered and bruised, proved to be resilient, drawing strength from shared experiences and the knowledge that they were not alone in their time of need. As the immediate threat of Hurricane Milton subsided and the true extent of the devastation became apparent, a massive rescue and relief effort swung into action. First responders, aid organizations, and volunteers from across the nation and around the world converged on the affected areas, their shared mission to provide aid and comfort to those in need. The outpouring of support was both immediate and overwhelming, a testament to the inherent goodness of humanity in the face of tragedy. Among the first to arrive on the scene were search and rescue teams, their highly trained dogs sniffing through the rubble, searching for signs of life. The tireless efforts of these dedicated individuals resulted in the miraculous rescue of countless survivors, pulled from the wreckage of their homes or plucked from rooftops where they had sought refuge from the rising floodwaters. Each life saved served as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, humanity's capacity for compassion and resilience shines through. As the initial search and rescue efforts transitioned into the long and arduous task of rebuilding, the focus shifted to providing food, water, shelter, and medical care to the thousands of displaced and injured survivors. Field hospitals were erected to treat the wounded, while tent cities and temporary shelters sprang up to provide refuge for those who had lost their homes. Aid organizations worked tirelessly to distribute essential supplies, ensuring that the basic needs of the affected communities were met. The road to recovery promised to be long and challenging, but with the unwavering support of countless individuals and organizations, there was a glimmer of hope on the horizon. The catastrophic impact of Hurricane Milton served as a stark reminder of the importance of preparedness and the need for resilient infrastructure in the face of increasingly frequent and intense natural disasters. The storm's rapid intensification and unpredictable path highlighted the limitations of traditional forecasting models, underscoring the need for continued investment in advanced meteorological research and early warning systems. The devastation wrought by Hurricane Milton served as a wake-up call, prompting a reassessment of building codes, evacuation plans, and disaster preparedness measures. In the aftermath of the storm, as communities began the long and arduous process of rebuilding, there was a renewed focus on creating more resilient infrastructure. Building codes were strengthened, incorporating lessons learned from the disaster, with an emphasis on wind-resistant construction, floodproofing, and the use of sustainable materials. Evacuation routes were reassessed and improved, and public awareness campaigns were launched to educate residents about the importance of having a disaster preparedness plan in place. Perhaps the most enduring legacy of Hurricane Milton was the resilience of the human spirit. In the face of unimaginable loss and devastation, communities came together, supporting one another with unwavering determination and compassion. The storm may have tested their resolve, but it also revealed their strength, their capacity for empathy, and their unwavering belief in the power of hope. Hurricane Milton served as a stark reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit has an extraordinary ability to overcome adversity and emerge stronger than before.